Welcome to ZN Podcasts, brought to you by Ndwendwe Investment Holdings, a legacy business. Here's your host, Zugisani Ndwendwe.
ZN Podcast.
ZN Podcast.
Your educational hub.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ZN Podcast, your educational hub. It is a pleasure to share with you valuable tech information again. Well, what's trending on the tech news today? According to Business Tech News, South Africa is building its own Silicon Valley. And companies ranging from Amazon to startups are hiring. So it reads as follows. International companies like Amazon, Panasonic are increasingly choosing to set up headquarters in South Africa as part of their global expansion. With more foreign businesses moving in every year, skilled people have become one of the country's most in-demand commodities. A Canadian startup called Cost Certified, which recently opened a local office in Cape Town, said that Cape Town is now one of the world's fastest growing regions in terms of foreign investments. Citing data from FDI Intelligence, the group noted that the city has now established as a top destination for international tech companies with over 40,000 people employed in the sector. Wow, this is very interesting. So for clarity purposes, Silicon Valley is a region in Northern California that serves as a global center for high technology innovation. I know some of the largest companies in Silicon Valley are Apple with over 188,000 employees, and then Google is also there with over 184,000 employees, and another one is Facebook with over 60,000 employees. There's a lot of them that are there, but for the sake of time, I will just stick to these three. So consequently, South Africa or Cape Town is heading towards becoming a center of high technology in the southern region. A lot of these high-tech companies are setting up offices in Cape Town. So I think I will change my mind about moving to Joburg. It looks like Cape Town is going to be the new home for technology, which is the industry that I'm playing in. My company, ZN Global, which is a website development and graphic design, is in that space. So I think I need to stick around. Maybe money is coming this side now instead of being in the city of gold. So I'm looking forward to seeing more and more tech companies setting up offices in this city and South Africa at large. I believe as startups we need to realign ourselves so that we can get a piece in this pie, in this big pie. Nonetheless, that's all from the news today.
ZN Podcast.
ZN Podcast.
Your educational hub.
So today we will briefly talk about cloud computing services which are provided by third parties. Those cloud computing services are infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Those are one of the important cloud computing services that as startups we need to utilize because these days things have been simplified, especially with the introduction of cloud computing. So while I was preparing for this topic and checking what other people are saying out there, I came across a platform called redhat.com. As I was reading what they have to say about cloud computing services, I realized that they have simplified this topic. I myself discovered new things from their explanation. So I decided to extract that information and share with you as it is because I couldn't see anything that I could add or remove from what they said. So consequently, majority of this content is not my own knowledge. I took it from Red Hat. You can check them out on redhat.com. So I just wanted to put that disclaimer up front so that you don't make your own research after listening to this episode and then you come for me saying, hey, this guy is taking information from other platform and is not referencing them. So I did reference them. I took it from Red Hat. So back to the cloud computing services. Let's start with infrastructure as a service. So infrastructure as a service is a step away from on-premises infrastructure. It is a pay-as-you-go service where a third party provides you with infrastructure services like storage and virtualization as you need them via a cloud through the internet. And then as the user, you are responsible for the operating system and any data, applications, middleware, runtimes. But a provider gives you access to and management of the network, servers, virtualization, and storage you need. So you don't have to maintain or update your own site data center, your own on-site data center, because the provider does it for you. Instead, you access and control the infrastructure via an application programming interface called API in short, or dashboard. So infrastructure as a service gives you flexibility to purchase only the components you need and scale them down or up as needed. So there's low overhead and no maintenance cost, making infrastructure as a service a very affordable option. One way to use infrastructure as a service would be as quick, flexible way to build up and take down and development and testing environments. You can use only the infrastructure you need to create your own development environment and scale it up or down for as long as you need it. And then you can stop when you are finished paying only what you use. The main drawbacks to infrastructure as a service are the possibilities of provider security issues, multi-tenant systems where the provider must share infrastructure resources with multiple clients, and service reliability. So these drawbacks can be avoided by choosing a reliable and trustworthy provider with a solid history and a reputation. Public cloud providers such as AWS, Amazon, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud are examples of infrastructure as a service which you can use because they are reputable and they have a solid history, so you can make use of those. But if you have any that you know of, you can take a risk of going for them as well. But bear in mind that there are security issues that you need to consider, because you are sharing a platform with multiple clients of those providers. So now let's move to platform as a service. So platform as a service is another step further from full on-premise infrastructure management. It is where a provider hosts the hardware and software on its own infrastructure and delivers this platform to the user as an integrated solution stack or service through an internet connection. Primarily it is useful for developers and programmers because platform as a service allows the user to develop, run, and manage their own apps or applications without having to build and maintain the infrastructure or platform usually associated with the process. So you can write a code, build and manage your apps, but you do it without the headaches of software updates or hardware maintenance. The environment to build and deploy is provided for you. Wow, just listen to that. So platform as a service is a way that developers can create a framework